What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Paddy, and welcome to the third episode, or the fourth podcast, the third episode of the rebranded show. And today, I'm all alone. I'm without my co-hosts because today the meat and potatoes of this podcast is going to be a topic that is dear to my heart, and I feel like that those guys would not be able to, would feel left out in the conversation for the hour or maybe even two that we go on about it. And so I thought it best just to bring on an expert, and he is an expert that has been in and out of the YouTube scene for a couple of years. Would you like to say hello?
Hello, my name is Marshall, and my channel is theeventhorizonX.
But it didn't used to be.
No, it did not. It used to be a channel called Drunken Russian Gaming. I doubt anyone knows what that is. But
fans will come out from the woodwork.
Maybe there's like one, at most two subscribers in putties who are watching this video right now are like, oh, I remember. No, but yeah. So let's get right into it.
No, I want to continue. Whoa, I want to hit you hard. Why did you leave?
Oh! Why did I leave? This is good. It's quite a few reasons. Mainly,
before we go into that, when did you leave?
When did I leave?
Yeah, roughly year, like maybe
roughly
month.
Almost about a year exactly.
A year ago.
Yes.
Feels longer than that.
I'd say a year and a month, maybe. I think I may have left in May or June. I'm not sure. But I think that's...
yeah, I remember that. It was right after the whole SOPA thing. So that was in December of 2011.
Yes, that... Precisely. Yeah. So I think that's about when I left. And I took a lot of experience from it. But the main reason I left, I love doing the videos. I love doing it. I wasn't super popular. That didn't bother me. I mean, that shouldn't bother anyone who makes these videos because, I mean, we do it because we enjoy, for some self-conceited reason, being watched. I mean, that's the best way to summarize it. You can put it in a bunch of fancy terms, but we like being listened to. Wouldn't you agree?
In a way, I prefer being responded to rather than being
responded to.
Yeah.
Well, no. Response is great.
Yeah.
But at the least, listening is
the first step to response.
Yes, they need to hear first. But the main reason is that my rig was not very adequate, and my videos would be laggy. Recording and running a game at the same time would not always go over so smoothly. Also, I could record Xbox videos, which obviously wouldn't be laggy because the Xbox, doesn't really have problems with that. But
have you tried to play certain games on it?
Well, in the sense, the video recording won't drag on the Xbox.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I didn't want to invest the money for an HD, and you realize as soon as you buy that SD capture card that no one cares about SD. Even I didn't care about. I was watching my own videos in SD, and I was just thinking, I was grossed out by them. So I thought, since that was a good learning experience, but I wanted to start fresh with all HD. Probably I'm not going to do any Xbox videos, but I think we'll talk about that later. I won't get into that. But
I think that's a good point about the HD thing, though, because nowadays, where the market has been realized so much, and we have a lot more competitors in the gaming-focused capture cards. Back in the day, the entry-level HD capture card was the PVR, and that was I know I'm speaking in pound terms now, about 120 quid. And now you've got the Elgato, whatever it's pronounced like, and that's a lot cheaper of an entry-level HD card. So I think there's a lot of difference between what's happening now with entry level stuff and what was happening when we were getting into it in entry level stuff.
Yeah, and if you're wondering what my capture card was, it was the ever famous Dazzle.
Oh right, I thought you'd go I thought because you were making a point to mention it, you were gonna go extreme like the DVR 612 Philips Sony collaboration. No. Color HD but SD magical box thing.
No, I went to a point to mention it just because I mean that's literally the main reason I started down. The videos were just poor quality, and I really needed a fresh start, and that's, yeah.
Is it the red dazzle or the white dazzle?
The white dazzle.
Yeah, I always thought the red dazzle looked badass, but I could never get one for some reason.
I didn't even know they made red dazzles.
The red dazzle looks cool, man.
Red looks good on everything. I think all cars should be red.
Yeah, no, I agree with that point.
Well, not all. Yeah, no, all cars. That is a factual statement in my mind. No.
All cars that are red look good. I like a nice midnight blue.
Yes, or I was gonna say seafoam green, but I'm not sure how that would look on a car. It's a really cool color, but I don't know about car.
Black works in some cases.
Yes, black's always a good choice for, I mean, anything. It's a nice basic color that can really look, what's the word I'm looking for? Sexy. It can look sexy.
It can.
But, yeah.
White can look really fancy, but it's a terrible idea on a car.
Oh, yeah. If it gets so dirty so easily. I mean, the maintenance, you have to keep it clean.
Unless it's a showpiece.
It's going to look bad.
If it's a showpiece, it'll be fine.
Oh, yeah. But if usage-wise.
Yeah, of course. Gaming news.
Woo!
So, the two pieces I wanted to talk about that have just stuck with me recently are alright, we'll go into the first one. Bethesda have announced that they are moving on, and they are moving on to the next endeavors, and they are ceasing production of Elder Scrolls V DLC. Are you bothered at all?
I gotta say, not really. I like Elder Scrolls a lot, and it's a good game to fill in the gaps between certain other franchises, which will be named later. But now some people will be horrified by me using it as a gap filler.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was exactly thinking.
But I mean, I like it, but I just don't love it that much. I mean, it just doesn't. I lose interest in it within a month or two. And even with mods, that can stretch it out a little bit. But for me, Skyrim is not as interesting as other that other game.
I'm always disappointed when, like, we had this debate about DLC last week, but I'm always disappointed when a company stops supporting a game, because to me it is the most high quality long-term support is DLC. But at the same time, going back to the whole Elder Scrolls point, it never really had longevity for me anyway, and it's their main franchise. It is it's their main franchise, and I don't understand why it's so shallow. I just
precisely. That's a better way of putting it. I was probably just making everyone feel terrible. Yeah. And the DLCs weren't that impressive this time around.
It's one of the only times, because I bought the first two, where most of the DLC didn't reinvigorate my interest in the game.
I mean,
didn't finish.
Yeah.
Hearthfire,
Exactly.
A lot of people didn't like Hearthfire. I'm just that type of person that appeals to, and I got into that so badly.
Well, yeah. That was available to. I mean, they had. I believe. Don't quote me on this, but I believe Hearthfire was based off of a mod taken from the PC.
Yeah, I was about to say it felt like a mod. That's the only problem with it, is it really did. Like, usually where I say mods are really good, there's a lot of work put into them. Sometimes they can be really, really good, but they never quite fit into the game. They never quite fit. And DLC might not be as deep or expansive as mods, but it always fits into the game. It always feels like it's meant to be there. And Hearthfire just felt a little out of place to me.
That's understandable.
Yeah, I liked it. I really liked it. It was one of the best times I had in Skyrim, but little out of place.
Yes.
Yeah, but back to my other point, like, it's their main franchise, and they've shown they can do depth in their side franchises, and yet they can't do depth in this franchise. It's so amusing to me. I don't understand why they can. Well, they can. I don't understand why they haven't done it. Why they haven't put. Is it because they go all out with the world? Is it because they put too much effort into the world that the game just cannot handle depth of audio or whatever they have to do to put the depth into the stories? You know?
Yeah.
What?
I wouldn't say that that's it. It's very hard to. It's a problem that is hard to describe, and it's a problem that a lot of people would disagree with.
The thing is, alright, we're gonna have to get into the comparisons now, aren't we? Because I've got one in mind. The difference between Fallout and Skyrim is that Skyrim, for all intents and purposes, Fallout and the Elder Scrolls games, the Bethesda Fallout games and the Elder Scrolls games, right? We're gonna get narrow on this comparison. Are that Fallout is kind of a smaller game in terms of how much is changeable, if you know what I mean. How much could be changeable. There's civilizations scattered across the map. In Skyrim and Oblivion, there are a lot more things that you'd expect to be changeable, and that's why I think they wouldn't want to put too much depth into it. This is getting really random, but putting too much depth into it because they'd have to change a lot more, while in Fallout they'd only have to change the certain civilizations that they have.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying there? That's a really hard to say thing.
Yeah. I think I understand.
But it's a beautiful game. And you know, it's got nice lore to it. It's just the stories, it's got a nice backstory to it, but the stories they're trying to tell, they don't do it well enough to me.
Well, I think although I think, and Bethesda always does this. I mean, I love you, Bethesda. But Bethesda always takes something and sort of breaks up the nonsense bullshit that is holding back the progression of games, like Call of Duty, which is the same game over and over again, running on the same engine with slightly improved graphics. A game like Skyrim, you could say that, but it does pull quite a lot of weight forward in the scale of games.
Oh yeah, no. If you're talking about just Oblivion, it takes a hell of a lot forward. And if you're talking about the Bethesda's whole line of works in their RPG first-person thing, Skyrim is so encouraging. Skyrim is so exciting because that engine is incredible. But the game,
yeah. It's yeah.
Yeah. And as big Fallout fans, of course, we're looking at that engine and thinking Fallout 4.
Fallout 4.
Yes, which we'll get into later.
Yes, we will.
Which is the meat and potatoes of today's podcast.
Can we put some bacon in that meat and potatoes?
Do you not know what meat is?
No, but I mean, know what meat? Okay, look. Meat and potatoes. When you think of meat and potatoes, you think beef, potato,
or chicken,
or chicken.
Yeah, or lamb or turkey, depending on like certain occasions.
Maybe turkey. Over here, definitely not lamb.
No. Okay, well we have a lot of lamb, so
we do not. I mean, we might. I don't know. Maybe it's just my family. My family's probably weird. All the other Americans are like, don't listen to him.
My family at this point don't eat a lot of lamb because one person in my family now owns a lamb. But we used to eat a lot of lamb.
Oh, that's funny.
And that's very ironic considering where I'm from. And anybody who knows where I'm from and knows the area will know why. You might.
Oh yes, I do.
Okay, we won't go into that. Next topic, or do you want to talk more about Skyrim?
No, next topic. Let's keep this rolling.
Alright, okay. So, I don't know the exact story, I've only heard glimpses of it. There was a game that came out a couple of months ago, I think it was in the Orion series, and it's called Dino Beatdown, and it was universally hammered as a terrible game. Alright? There's been terrible. Yeah, terrible. And on day one, it was pretty much unplayable because of bugs. A couple of months later, it's been patched to hell. It's got a lot of changes to it. I don't know if it's better or worse yet. Well, it's obviously not, it can't be any worse. It can't be. But I don't know how much better it is. and they have released it as a completely new game on Steam called Dino Horde, I believe. Without mention that it used to be Dino Beatdown.
I mean, I think there's a certain implication. I mean, it's Dino.
Yeah, but come on, I'm sure another studio could have come out with Dino Horde and just as easily made a dinosaur zombie game.
True.
Like that IP isn't exactly. Wasn't exactly owned.
But it would be getting in the gray area of copyright for sure.
How many things in the history of history of like the last 100 years where we've actually been interested in dinosaur media have been named Dino something? God, there's a food called Dino Bites.
True. There is a lot of dino. That is fine.
That's what I see with it. But even getting away from that point, is it okay to release it as a new game? Let's say SimCity came out with a game that wasn't always online, completely the same game except for the DRM wasn't there, and called it City Builder 2013.
Yeah, I think renaming it is fine, but they should definitely give copies to everyone who bought the original game.
They did.
Oh, well, in that case, fine. They can do whatever the hell they want with it.
But the problem is,
as long as they're being
the review scores are gone. The terrible review scores are gone, and people might be confused and buy this on day one, not realizing that this was one of the worst games of the last 10 years.
Well, my opinion with review scores has always been review scores in the initial opening of the gates can screw over a lot of future good games.
Yes.
Games that will be really good once a few updates and patches come out. It's been happening to... I read an article a couple weeks ago recently in the strategy games market. That's been happening a lot with strategy games. Their release will have some holes in it, and the media will just slap them over the head, and they will basically go under later for it because no one wants to buy a game that originally got this bad reputation, even though they got all these patches to fix those things. So I think that clearing the slate, just like I did with my channel, is okay. I don't mind that.
I see what you're saying, and I agree with that. There are a couple of games that get a lot better as patches come out. One of which we'll be talking about later.
Another example.
One of which we'll be talking about later. But at the same time, a game that is on the very low scale, universally, not just one review score, not just two review score, literally universally criticized as one of the worst games of the last 10 years. That isn't just something you can patch out. Like, maybe there's a few bugs. Yeah, that doesn't cause people to call you one of the worst games in the last 10 years.
I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah, that's the only problem. I can see that.
My question is, if it was that bad, do you think anyone's going to buy it anyway? Do you think people are not going to realize?
Now they are. I think now, yeah, I think some people won't realize. But that's playing devil's advocate. I also agree that, you know what, I'm very liberal in my viewpoints. Game company, do whatever you want as long as it's legal, to be fair to them. But, you know, I see the other point of the argument where people are going to get burned by this hard.
I'm not saying, I don't think companies should do anything that's legal. I mean, we as consumers can get literally financially raped by countries doing what is quote-unquote legal, but and banks as well. But I think they should do what's within their fairness and with what treats us as consumers nicely. So going along that point, I can see where you're coming from in that them doing this is sort of might screw some people over if they didn't truly make this game 100% better.
Well, nothing gets made 100% better.
Well, I mean, technically it can. That's just doubling the performance.
That's 200%.
Nope. 100% better.
Yeah.
Is whatever.
That's the gray area of pronunciation at that point.
That's not pronunciation. That's statistics.
No, that's not statistics. That's linguist. I can't say that. Whatever. Because it's the word you're putting on at the end that changes the sentence. So that's not about the statistics. It's about the English. Doesn't matter.
Right.
Doesn't matter. Why are we
Whatever.
getting into this? Yeah, whatever. I can see that point as well. I can see that point as well.
You might notice that we have a bit of banter. We know each other quite pretty well.
Wait, who are you again?
Oh, yeah. So, do you have any other things to talk about?
Just to let you guys know, this guy has a PC that's slightly better than Alvin's right now.
Ooh.
Not for long though. Not the
slightly better.
You realize he gets like 5,000 cake a day, right?
Holy! What is his job?
He's a student.
Does he have like rich parents?
No, it's from the school. I don't know the details. I don't think we should be talking about it on a podcast. I don't know.
What is going on? It's not shady. He's not a drug dealer at all. Okay.
Even though we did talk about this on podcast 1, which you guys should go watch. With him, by the way, it wasn't like we were sitting in a Skype call just talking behind his back about his cakes or anything. We never do that. Never.
No.
Nope.
That'd be weird and totally something we don't do.
Like it is right now.
I don't paint pictures of people's money on the wall.
Don't you? That's really cool. Money is a fantastic thing to paint pictures of. I want to see I think pictures of money are actually really interesting. I don't know why.
Really?
I've seen images of one type of money is even interesting to me because of the way it's drawn. But the best images are the images where they pull together a lot of different types of money from like different countries and stuff. That's really awesome. Like I see pound notes and dollar notes and like coins from different countries, and it's just really. Yeah, I like that. I like that type of thing. I've seen pictures of that, and it's really cool. People should look out like different kinds of currency on Google Images and see what comes up. Alright, I think that's our gaming news, which we covered pretty much a lot of. There is one new release I saw that came out a couple of days ago called God Mode. I know nothing about it, but you guys just type that into YouTube or Google or something and see if you can find any coverage on it. Alright.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that either.
Good.
Good, I was not wanting to talk about it.
Alright, let's get into the meat and potatoes of the podcast. So I have not talked about Fallout 4 yet, which is surprising to a lot of you because my channel is built on a Fallout 3 Let's Play. And on the promise that one day I will get a Fallout New Vegas Let's Play on. But that promise has been going for a very long time. Very long time. And Marshall has just made a new channel, so of course he hasn't talked about Fallout 4 yet.
Nope.
I thought you were going to turn around and I have a 10-hour podcast up about Fallout 4.
I'm recording it as we're speaking. I'm stealing our footage. Okay.
So, I thought this would be a good opportunity to talk about it. And it's Marshall's comeback podcast.
Woo!
Yes.
I mean, sort of. I mean, it's going up on Roundtable, but...
Yeah, but it's going to be linking directly to your channel. So.
Excellent.
Oh, you think I was just going to be like, find him yourself, guys. Good luck with that.
I don't think. That is for lay people. Anyway.
Alright, yes. So, we have a article from PC Gamer, right?
Yes, PC Gamer.
Right, good.
I don't know why I responded that weirdly.
Because it's a great site. No,
yes!
It is a good site, I do agree. But
no, yeah, quality articles. They have cool face-off. Oh, I'm not going to get into that.
The article link is in the description, but we're going to go by point and give our opinion on it. And then later on, we're going to be talking about, I think, both of our wish list for Fallout 4 and just having a general discussion about one of our favorite series of all time. Do you have is one of the two Bethesda games or the earlier ones your favorite game of all time?
It changes. It changes, but I'd say definitely Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas, obviously, are one of my favorite games of all time. I think it's unfair to pick one, so I just put them both as, you know, the twin sisters of Hellenic godliness. But but they both have good points about them. So you will get into those later, but I guess we're going to talk about Fallout 4 now.
Yeah, Fallout. I just wanted to ask if you had if how much investment you had into Fallout series, just to give bias clarification to the listeners, and for me, Fallout 4. Yeah, Fallout 4 is my favorite game of all time. Fallout New Vegas is my favorite game of all time, and I have a video that went up last August, and I think that pretty much sums up why. I think it's like 30 minutes long, so it's a black screen. Go watch it. Just like this, except this one has pictures.
Picture!
I don't know what picture I'm going to use for Marshall yet.
We'll decide.
I used a canoe last week. I've been saving Charlie Sheen for someone. It might be him.
I'm not sure if I want Charlie Sheen. I'll take Martin Sheen. I like him.
Wait. Let me think if I can remember his name. I think it's Brian Sheen. You will have Brian Sheen. Michael Sheen.
Who the hell is Brian
You will have
Sheen?
Michael Sheen. He is a Welsh actor who played Brian Clough in The Damned United.
Beep beep.
If anybody gets that reference, write it in the comments.
If anyone gets that reference.
Okay, we usually give people words at the end of the podcast to tell them that they listened all the way through. The word this week is The Damned United. Or The Damn United. I think it's Damned United. Yeah.
This isn't the end of the podcast.
Yeah, I know. This week I'm doing it early.
Oh.
The
and what do they
Damned
do with this
United.
word?
Because I don't think anybody's going to last through the Fallout topic. Alright.
Oh, I think you'd be surprised how many of your viewers are interested in.
But it's not my viewers, though.
Well, no, I keep forgetting that. You're right.
People coming from Dino's Fallout 3 Let's Play.
Exactly. There we go. We can use that as an excuse.
Okay, so would you like to get into the PC Gamer points?
I will take the methodical steering wheel here, and
methodical, or do you mean metaphorical?
Whatever floats your
Are you going to
physical boat?
Methodically take the metaphorical steering wheel?
Yeah. I talk weird on videos.
Don't worry, so do I.
I sort of cut and paste definitions out of the dictionary
Okay.
as I see fit. Sometimes I'll make up new words.
That's the best way to go about things, in my opinion.
Yes, Cephalin Ekinen.
Okay, we'll move on to the first point of the PC Gamer.
I will. Okay, so basically, what this article is, like you said, there'll be a link.
I know there's a link in the description. Can we provide an author? Do you have that information?
Ooh, an author. It is Craig Pearson, and that is definitely a Swedish-sounding name.
Pearson, really?
Not Peterson. Pearson.
Pearson.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
T.
that doesn't sound Swedish to me.
Oh, well, Peterson's a Swedish name, and I'm pretty sure Pearson is an even more common. Okay, if you're Swedish and watching this, prove me right.
We have a Danish person, and we have a Serbian. I can't think of...
Well, a Danish person might be able to confirm that. I don't know. Or, I don't know.
I swear you've offended someone with a stereotype you didn't mean to make there.
No, that's not a stereotype.
I know
below Sweden.
I know you don't think it's a stereotype, but someone will twist it into a stereotype.
Perhaps they will.
Almost assuredly. Go on.
Most assuredly. Okay, so this article is by Craig Pearson, is just basically telling their viewers and readers what they like about the Fallout series, what they don't like, and basically putting this together into what they want from Fallout 4. So we'll get right into it. We're not going to read the whole thing, because you guys can do that if you're interested in it, but we're just going to go over the main points. One thing that they would like is livelier roads, cities, and towns. So,
very nice.
This for me, I think that they think that the towns in Fallout 3 and New Vegas, that there aren't enough. They think in Fallout 3 there just aren't enough settlements in general, and they think in New Vegas that the that the characters, basically the same argument as they propose for both games. There's just not enough lively towns. And I would disagree. I think both games have quite a number of towns. In Fallout 3, there's Megaton and Rivet City, and I mean I could name all of them, but I don't need to go into that. Those
the
two
Republic
towns,
of Dave.
the Republic of Dave. I mean, if you're gonna name all the towns that have friendly settlers versus all the towns that have stores or whatever, but just as an example, Rivet City and Megaton are two very lively and interesting towns, as well as Tenpenny Tower. I'll throw that in there because that's sort of a counterpart to Megaton. They're very lively, and they have entertaining citizens, and they have interesting stories. Tenpenny Tower, a huge hotel. Megaton, a crater with a bomb in it. Rivet City, a ship out in the ocean.
Or eventually, if your choices turn out right, it's just a crater.
Yes, it's just a crater.
Spoilers.
Not spoilers if you watch Puddy's Let's Play.
Or Dino does good.
We don't know if Dino, what's he gonna do?
I know what Dino does, and I think he disarms the ball.
Oh, spoiler!
No, I'm pretty sure episode 2 is already out.
Oh, that's when he does it?
I think so. I think he does it in episode 1.
Okay, I only saw episode 1, but I'm trying to keep updated while also setting up my channel. It's kind of difficult. But anyway, what were we talking about?
Well, if you want me to give my opinion on the lively thing, for me, I actually see what he's saying there. Because I don't think I'm sure he makes a point about how there's not enough cities, and I don't agree with that. But in terms of the liveliness, I can definitely see that point. But at that point, it becomes... Liveliness is a great thing to have. But it's that liveliness and character versus atmosphere. And I can see both sides of that argument. Because the Fallout, that nuclear post-apocalyptic... desolate and like really enclosed and lonely atmosphere they want to create. I love that, but I also love the characters in Fallout, especially in New Vegas, which is obviously my favorite one. I think they're so entertaining, and they're deep, and they often have a lot of motivation behind them, and I love every character. So obviously more characters is important, and I always found the roads in both New Vegas and 3 to be really boring. Even the enemies you encounter are just not interesting. I don't know. When you come up to a landmark, I like that, but I think the traveling has always been like 2 episodes of my Let's Play are called Pointless Traveling, and they come up to about an hour and a half. So I do think that livening up traveling in one way or another by adding more landmarks, maybe enclosing the map so the landmarks are close together. Yeah,
I suggest quadrupling the enemies.
Turn your difficulty up to very hard. Yeah.
No, that does. Well, that barely increases the amount of enemies. That just makes them tough as hell.
Yeah, but yeah, I can see that. But at that point, I do think it becomes: do you want more of Fallout's awesome characters, or do you want more of Fallout's awesome atmosphere? And in an hour and a half long podcast, I don't think I could get an answer to that. Honestly, I think it'd take a far longer to get that.
Years of thinking.
Years of deliberation within Bethesda, around the round table, quite literally. You see people slamming coffee cups like, I want another Moira. And everyone's like, no. Never again. I think that carefully brings to an end the first point.
Yes, never again, Moira. Their other point, and I do, well, let me say the point first. They think you should, they really like the survival aspect in both games, and it is a major part, and they make it an even bigger part of Fallout New Vegas with hardcore mode and all that fun stuff, and more crafting and things. So, as far as that, they think that's just a step in the right direction. They would like a lot more survival, a lot more struggling, not just with enemies, but just with the necessities, water and sleep and food, and maybe even a few more in-depth, other things like I can't think of something. Maybe maybe
injuries.
bleed out rates.
Injuries.
I don't know.
Something like injuries where you got to manage, like, your toe has been severed off and you must prevent it from contamination.
Yes, or you got a disease. You have to take these antibiotics for the next 10 days every 5 hours or else you'll die.
You got syphilis.
You've got syphilis. There's no cure, sorry.
Yeah, game over. Alright, well, on this point, do you mind if I go first, since you went first on the last point?
Yes.
I very much see what it's saying, and I want to go to the crafting point specifically. In New Vegas, when the crafting elements pop up, Honest Hearts...
Oh, be careful about the crafting. There is another point about crafting later on.
Alright, I'll try and keep it brief then. When, especially in Honest Hearts and Old World Blues, when you see crafting at its finest, they do it so well. But they keep it to a very small amount, so I definitely like to see more crafting, because they do it really well. With the survival thing, I do see what they mean, because it's a post-apocalyptic world. That's, again, atmosphere versus gameplay. But I would like to see it as much as they want. I'd like them to make improvements there. But the thing is, I'd like it still to be an option, because I think the main thing of Fallout is still the story. And if anything, if they screw it up to the point where it gets in the way of story, I'd like the option to turn it off.
Yes, that's a very good point. I think if it became too distracting, and it made the game feel too broken up and too almost annoying because of how much you have to maintain your character, then yes, I would agree. Because it's not purely about survival. That's a fun aspect, but you're right. Story and the whole lore of it, finding out everything about the game was probably one of my favorite things about Fallout 3 and especially New Vegas.
Precisely how many geckos
really
were in Vault 34?
What?
Precisely how many geckos inhabited Vault 34?
70.
And 2 children, which you slaughtered during the events of Fallout New Vegas.
But that actually made no sense, because Vault 34 is filled with ghouls.
Yes, I do remember that now. That's a terrible place. That's a terrible place.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, it has a...
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Crap ton. The All-American is there, so...
Yeah, the armory's great. The story is fantastic. The vaults...
Oh, and bring a crap ton of rad away.
Oh, yeah. It's just...
Unless you are good at it and you can get through the whole set of passwords within 5 minutes, you need a lot of rad away.
Vault 34, I just thought of it, reminds me a lot of Dead Money. It's got really annoying mechanics, hard to beat enemies, but a fantastic story and good rewards.
Yes.
I love the story of the vaults, I was going to say. The vaults are an awesome idea. The experiments, like the social experiments, amazing. One of my favorite things about Fallout. But back to the points, which I'm deviating from.
Yes. Thankfully, we can talk about story as much as we want in between these points, because for some sick reason, they didn't include story as one of their points. And I can understand, because the story is already perfect, so why would they need to improve it?
Make more of it. That's all I'm asking for.
Make more of it, yeah. I mean, the game making a new Bethesda game implies more. I mean, it just does.
To go back to one of our earlier topics, they've stopped DLC on Skyrim and said they're moving forward to quote-unquote future projects.
Which is, of course...
Possibly, likely, probably either the Fallout TV show or Fallout 4. Or both. At the same time. As a tie-in kind of thing, like Defiance.
I mean, I don't think they really need to tie up Bethesda's programmers and art designers on a TV show, so...
No. But they're gonna finish Elder Scrolls Online first.
Oh yeah, that's stupid. Rocking the road.
Just please hire Obsidian again. Please. That's all I want. Just hire them again. Work closely with them. You can make improvements to their game, but just do it again. They did well. Reward them.
Well, I don't think they're gonna do that, because I think Obsidian is planning
there's an indie game there, a Kickstarter game they make.
No, I was gonna say they have already talked about if Bethsoft will let them, making a Fallout New Vegas 2, which I think Obsidian is thinking a little too like a square. I just, in case you are not creeping on me in my house, which that's kind of scary. I don't know why I said that. I just made a square with my fingers. But
do you mean like square as in like a literal square, or square as in the company that have made Final Fantasy 13 too?
Nah, I mean square as in the 50s slang.
Oh, right. I actually thought you were talking about they were going down the Square Enix route. But all right, go with your point.
No. I just, I just meant that I think they're really they're if when you make a second Fallout game, one that continues exactly to the storyline of the previous one, it creates some problems
Fallout
as far
1 and
as
Fallout 2 were direct.
What?
Fallout 2 is a direct sequel to Fallout 1.
Well, and how did that go?
It worked pretty well actually, but it was a turn-based game. It was a completely different kind of game, and there was less story in Fallout 1 than there was in New Vegas. But yeah, go on. It did work pretty well, to be fair.
I didn't like Interplay's games, so
I didn't mind them.
I mean, I just never got into them. If I probably could have gotten into them, but I was too busy playing Fallout 3 at the time, which was better.
In your opinion. Okay. Yeah, go on.
So
you were on about direct sequels were going to be a problem because of how many choices you can make
you can make so many choices at the end of New Vegas.
And it's not just at the end, because there's only 4 choices at the end. You can make thousands throughout the game.
True. Like, the difference between Novak being a bustling boomtown or it being a radioactive cesspool.
Wait.
Just as a specific example.
Who's that guy in the abandoned shop in Nipton? What's his name?
Dang it, I can't think. He's Putty's talking about a powder ganger who
got his legs injured or something. But basically my point is he's such an insignificant character, but the choice to make him live or die is a massive problem they'd have if they continued. And that's just one little problem.
Exactly. And there's all these little problems, even in Fallout 3, where the endings are pretty much even the endings in Fallout 3, you can save the wasteland, but you can also save the wasteland, quote unquote, and in the same way killing basically, 80% of humankind.
80%?
Well, I mean, if you think about the fact that it kills any sort of genetic difference from original humans. Humans when the bombs fell.
Yeah, I realized that, but I forgot about I didn't realize how much of an implication that was.
If you think about it, it's funny, because President Eden says to you, you don't have to worry. It won't kill you because you were in the vault. Well, we both know that you weren't in the vault your whole life. Mm-hmm. You were born to parents who were not born in a vault. Which means you would have died anyway.
Yeah.
It's a huge hole in it, but
plus I was a ghoul. I was a ghoul by the end of it, so. I completely understand what you're saying there. I still think they could do it using canon decisions, as we talked about a couple of days ago.
But every 5 seconds in the game, we would be like, "Oh yeah, this totally makes sense."
Or they could do what a lot of series have done, and that is load the New Vegas save file and all your choices, which would be a lot of work, and they would need to do that on next generation hardware, or of course, the glorious Master Race.
P.
C.
Okay.
But yeah, that would work. I'm just thinking about it. I didn't even think about how much that would actually fix it if they just loaded the New Vegas save.
Yeah, that would fix it quite a bit. For a game like Fallout, it's gonna be very complicated to do something like that, but it would make it a much better game. I have to say, yes.
Yeah. I've just blown myself away about how intelligent I am.
He just pooped his pants.
No, but seriously, I think that's a good idea. Obsidian. The thing with Obsidian is I don't remember exactly the story. Didn't they not get paid their bonuses because Fallout New Vegas had like a Metacritic score of under what it's supposed to be? So I think there might be a bit of sourness there.
I did not hear about that.
Yeah, that's a bit of a problem. But that might not be true. That might be a different company. But I swear that's what I've heard.
I believe Fallout 3 though got a definite Game of the Year 5.10.0
Yeah.
across basically all the boards.
Yeah, Fallout 3 got the Game of the Year, and I'm still bitter.
And I'm still bitter.
Because all I've got is my Ultimate Edition instead of my Game of the Year Edition.
I thought it was funny when they named it that.
Damn you, Red Dead Redemption. I'm pretty sure. I might be a year off on that one. 2010. Portal 2, perhaps? I don't know.
Oh, well, no. I'm trying to think of the Game of the Year in 2010.
I think it might be Redemption.
Portal 2 got Best Story.
How?
Because it has the best story ever.
No, it doesn't. It's.
Have you not played that game?
Yeah, I have. I finished it.
It's in. Oh, and that was at the beginning of 2011.
Oh yeah, I thought it might be. It's a good story. Don't get me wrong, but it's not. It's not revolutionary.
I thought it's hilarious.
It's funny. It's great. The story. Now this is a comment I've made for a couple of games now. The storytelling is really good. The story's not that good. It's good, but it's not that good. And I'm not sure. 2011, I don't remember too well. It might have had the best story that year, but I don't quite remember that year.
It either had the best story or the best co-op. I just
best
can't
co-op
remember.
I could see happening. Even best gameplay I could see happening, but best story, I think it falls short.
I mean, it definitely got best puzzle game, but I think it got a more major award. And I'm guessing I really do believe it's either story or co-op. But anyway, we should probably get back somewhere. Would you like to come back to the article now?
I can't think of a follow point that I have left unanswered. So yeah, we'll move on to the next article point, shall we?
Yes.
Did you say your piece on the survival aspect?
Yes, I sort of. I mean, yeah. I mean, there's not much to say there. I agree. I think it's really fun, and I think it's something that you could play it once one way and another time the other way. Like I've played New Vegas twice with hardcore and like 4 times regular.
Okay. I played New Vegas twice. Stops. I'm like, what?
No, I was saying. I'm saying. I think I've played it 2 times hardcore, like 4 times regular, and 3 times modded to beyond all recognition. So.
You might actually have me beat on playthroughs, but I'm pretty sure I've got you beat on game time.
Perhaps.
Yeah. I do a lot of work.
Anyway.
Next point in the article. It's a very good idea.
Next point in the article. Oh! Bethesda's design and Obsidian's characters. Now this is interesting. In this point, they fuse. They take one good thing that they really liked from Fallout 3 and one good thing that they really liked from Fallout New Vegas, and it's 2 points that the Putty and I think both agree with. That Fallout 3 has a really good environment. It has a really cool place to explore. The outside world is barren, and it feels like a wasteland. It feels like an apocalyptic America that you should be scared of and reminiscent of at the same time. And then the other point, that New Vegas has very good characters. Their characters are in depth. They feel good. They make you want to hug or shoot or whatever it have be, perhaps in about 3 or maybe I'd say about 3 dialogue options have sex with. So I might be wrong there, off by 1, but yeah. So what do you what would you say about that?
What, Bethesda's world design and Obsidian's characters?
Yes.
Yeah, but I agree with the Fallout 3 thing, but I also do think New Vegas had I like the New Vegas. I wouldn't use Fallout 3 as my example. I'd use Skyrim, honestly, because they've moved forward so much that you can see how good their world design is, and adding Obsidian's characters to that. Oh my god. Adding Obsidian's characters, that would be incredible.
Ignore random noises.
Yes. Fallout 3's world, don't get me wrong, is absolutely incredible. And but I do think if you look at Skyrim, you've seen how far they've gone now, and how good they could do in the future, and how beautiful that world is.
Yes.
But yes, Obsidian's characters, 100%. All day, every day, love them all. They're fantastic. One thing I will say about New Vegas' credit, though, as I am very biased, I do think a lot of the locations are very bland and very generic, but pick out the best ones, and I do think the locations are really good in New Vegas. And I think the thing with New Vegas is, you say that I agree that their characters are really good. The locations have a lot of character to them, and that's a big thing for me, especially in the New Vegas area. Jacobstown, up in Jacobstown, the bunkers are reasonably
but
generic.
is the character of the locations because of the way they look,
Yes,
or the
because of the way they
characters
look.
that inhabit them?
Yes, because of the way they look. The characters that inhabit them are fantastic, but I do think the look of the locations do have a lot of character to them. Some of them, obviously. The whole eastern side of the map is pretty bland. Wait, no, western, damn it. Western side of the map is pretty bland. But I do like Freeside, Jacobstown. Parts of the bunkers are quite unique, but obviously that's quite bland. The fort, I love the style there. Freeside, New Vegas, just, clunk that in. Old World Blues, in its entirety. And I think that's where my... the answer... Okay, the Mojave Outpost is less so. The characters make that place better, but, I like it.
I'd say, on the flip side of the coin, I think that Fallout 3's places are more interesting.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Just to cut in, I do agree with that.
Oh, you do agree?
On a general scheme, but I do think there's a lot of character to a couple of the New Vegas areas too.
Well, I mean, because you can take... I really like... Paradise Falls has a very interesting aspect to it that you can't really capture anywhere else. Just you can smell the evil there from a mile away. And as soon as you see the gigantic boy standing in the middle of that mall complex, you cannot help but see the irony. And Rivet City, like I said,
oh yeah,
it's got a lot of potential, a lot of power, and it's got a lot of there's quite a bit of emotion about being on a ship.
I'm on a boat.
I'm on a boat.
The Jefferson Memorial, that's really cool.
Jefferson Memorial is really cool, yes. Especially, I mean,
Oasis.
at the end when you pull that switch and you can see him clear as day through that water.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I almost
That's
literally
incredible.
the first time I played the game, I remember I drew a tear when I saw that statue. I don't know why. It's not like I'm into Jefferson. I mean, he's a cool guy. I like some of his quotes, but when I saw that statue, all of my accomplishments for some reason just came to fruition in my mind, and a tear just came out of my left eye, and I was like, this is the best.
Oasis
is you cannot compare that to anything else because it is different than anything else in the game. It is trees and life, and not really anything interesting building wise, but the location is very interesting.
I think it's very important that it's in there, because you said Fallout 3 does that wasteland aspect really well, and to slap bang in the middle of it completely creates the contrast that makes that area so grand.
Oh yes.
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I'd like to say this. This is what I've started to realize from this. Fallout 3, I think, does have the more interesting locations, and they have a lot of interesting locations. The whole map is fantastic. With New Vegas, though, the locations that stand out, I think, have more character than Fallout 3's. They're not as interesting, but I think you can definitely glean more, and it helps build the characters, which at the end of the day is what New Vegas is about anyway.
Huh. Yes, I would fully agree.
Like, I prefer to explore the Fallout 3 stuff, but I think the Fallout New Vegas locations help aid the story a little more.
Yes.
I think that's what my conclusion is on this.
Basically, the Fallout New Vegas locations link together in a grand design, and Fallout 3 locations stand alone.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that.
Okay.
That's a good point.
Next point.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Just want to make sure we're all clear. Tree. Okay, here's the next thing they think about is now Putty. This one, I don't know what you're gonna think about it, but they thought, this being PC gamer,
yeah,
they would like Fallout and Bethesda to, that quote unquote, treat us like PC gamers. I love that. But the points they make about it are not the points that I would have gone towards. In my opinion, well, I'll go into my opinion later. What they said on this is that they think that the Pip-Boy is clunky, and they think some of how you use it, as far as scrolling and all that, is clunky, and they think they should make it better for a mouse and a keyboard setting. For me, I've always loved the Pip-Boy. I never stopped, and I don't think it feels clunky on the mouse.
Yeah, I think, but, comparing the two on console and PC, I think on console it works really, really well, and it's a very good function for what is a limited system. And then on PC, I think they did really well to adapt it. I like the fact that you can click on things and the scrolling. I think it works well. I think the interface is good. Clunky, I can kind of see the scrolling is a bit slow, but at the end of the day, it works and it never really fails.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, yeah, I think
it's not as bad as Skyrim.
I do agree. What?
It's not as bad as the Skyrim interface on PC.
I like the Skyrim interface. All right.
We won't go into the logistics of it, but can you at least agree that it's bland?
It's bland. It doesn't have any character, but at least you can get to things quickly.
Yeah, I thought it was a big spiral of.
I mean, all of Elder Scrolls menus have been blah.
That's not an excuse.
Obsidians were just note cards.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Okay.
About the PC gamer thing, though, the route I would have gone down, I'm not sure if you agree with this. I don't think the texture quality was up to snuff on New Vegas' PC port, even at the high graphic levels.
Yeah, I would say that. That's not what I was gonna say, but that is a very good point. You can always push graphics higher on the PC, much higher than the consoles.
Yeah, but sometimes they offer the very high graphics levels, and that does look really well. New Vegas, the texture quality, even in 1080p, just it wasn't that good. Mods make it better though. There are a lot of good graphical mods.
In fairness to Bethsoft,
yes,
because I can hear the screams of their employees as we speak.
Because they're listening to this. Like,
yes,
what do Putty and Marshall think about Fallout 4? We must include their opinions in this game.
Yes. But I really think that they designed a system that helps that little problem, and that is the GEC. I mean, people, they said, here is this, and if you don't like it, PC gamers, you can make it infinite. And they have a lot of really good graphics mods that improve the graphics.
Some of the graphical mods are incredible. Especially for me, the ones that hit me the most are the shaders, obviously, but the sky ones. The ones that affect the sky are so incredible.
Yeah, the skies, shaders, they have. You can find some good texture packs. You can definitely find some bad texture packs.
But though sometimes they're so bad they're good.
Yeah. And then I think I'd say that Fallout. I'd say that the thing I would like them to do, as far as towards PC gamers, to design it more, is they need to make it. They need to put what's the word? They need to put PC first.
Yeah, no, they need to design the game on PC and port to consoles.
Exactly. Yeah. And they really need to, and obviously they design it on the PC, but they are thinking about the consoles and the PC at the same time.
They use Xbox 360 framework. Framework is the word I'm looking for. Framework.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do.
Oh.
I'm not sure about Fallout specifically, but a lot of games use the Xbox 360 framework and port to PC and PlayStation 3.
Thumbs down for Microsoft. No.
It's because to be fair, it's because it's easier to develop on the Xbox 360 than the PlayStation 3, and they want to develop for consoles.
Yeah, developing on the PlayStation 3, we're not going to talk about that, but...
It's like,
It's like developing a game on the iPod.
Trying to make an ice cream sandwich with bread.
But I think but what you said is what you said is right. I think they should make it so that they completely make the game for a PC game, and then transferring it to console from there will only improve the experience for console players. Yeah, it's not going to downgrade your experience. It's going to level it up higher.
Yeah, I think console players they get a lot, like, as a console player right now, I'd like to speak to my fellow console players. They often get not offended, but defensive when PC people want to be focused on. But what they need to realize is when games are developed for a superior superior platform and ported over to a inferior platform, we are getting the maximum that we can get, because it's always going to be superior on the superior platform. So games right now would benefit from being developed on a PlayStation. Games right now would benefit from getting developed on a PlayStation 3, guys. That would be a good thing. We should start developing for the PlayStation 3.
And then port it over to the PlayStation 4.
Yeah, obviously. We should be developing for the GameCube. And porting over to everything else. Games right now would benefit from being developed on a PC. Because everything is at its peak, at the best it can be. And then it just gets scaled down to the best we can have. When it's at us, we're at the high end, and then everyone else gets screwed over. We don't lose anything from us not being the primary development platform. Nothing at all.
Exactly.
We only gain things like options. Console games have such limited options right now. FOV can barely ever be changed. Even on a console, that's a problem sometimes.
You can only have 100 saves in New Vegas.
I know.
I cried when I reached 100.
I'm OCD about not reaching 100.
Dude, I am okay. Well, one, to clarify, I do have an Xbox 360 and a Wii. I am a console player in the sense
that's my exact setup as well, actually.
Yeah.
Xbox 360 and Wii. Although I will soon be getting a Wii U. For Pikmin 3.
Yes, I do own those too, and I had a PS2 and all that fun, Nintendo 64. But
NES,
I think that the PC overall is going to develop a better game, just like he said, and once the console players get a hold of it, it'll be overall a better game, and the PC gamers will get what they want. Everyone will be happy. I don't know why they just don't do that. Probably, I don't know. Well, do you have any ideas of why they wouldn't do it?
I can't conceivably think, except for the fact that the consoles are their major demographic, and yeah, that might be it. The problem is the consoles are their major demographic, and they'd be spending more money transferring it to consoles, and I don't know. They want their margin. I don't know. There's something in there that's right, but something about the consoles being their main demographic. That's the thing.
True.
But I don't know why that's a problem, because the consoles would still get... I don't know. It's something about the consoles being the main demographic. I don't know what it is, though.
Yeah. But I mean, I think I forgot something I was going to say, and if I remember it, I'll talk about it later, but I think, are you ready to move on to the next thing?
Yeah, go on, sure.
Okay. Meaningful character creation. And they think that they love the way that leveling up works in Fallout, as do I. I think it's the best leveling up system that has ever or will ever exist.
Blood Bowl.
But
will ever? That's a bit bold.
What I said?
You said has ever but then you said will ever exist. That's a bit bold.
It's a bit bold, but it's something that a true Fallout lover can say with confidence.
No, because what if Fallout come up with a better one?
What if what?
What if Bethesda come up with a better system? Develop this current system further?
I'm saying Fallout in general.
You're not saying the current system, you're saying the Fallout system.
Whatever, man.
I'm wondering I'm actually asking you. Are you talking about the current leveling up system or just the way Fallout is going about their leveling?
I mean, I'd say I guess I meant the current system, but that's the way that Fallout's going about their leveling, because the system was basically the same for Fallout 3 and New Vegas, except you had more levels and perks were only every other level. But
in this next one, you're not gonna have perks. You're gonna have skills, and they're exactly the same. No.
Really?
No, I don't know that, but it wouldn't surprise me.
I was like, wow. No, I mean skills. I mean, there are already skills in the leveling up process. So
are those the little attributes? I always call them attributes.
They're called special stats, skills, and perks.
Yeah. I always just call them my big things, my little things, and then my right in things.
And my circular things. But the but as I was saying, I really like it, but they want a better character creation. They want to build off of what they currently have. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry I said that. They will ever be. I can't go in the future. But they want to build on top of the current system and add more perks, which I'm always for.
Oh, yeah.
Add more abilities and skills. Now, as far as more skills, I'm not sure. Maybe one more skill, but the more skills you add, I don't know. I can't think of a specific problem, but it just wouldn't be the Fallout if they keep adding more and more skills, because then it become a different game, because the skills define how you're going to play the game.
Was barter in Fallout 3?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I thought it was just speech.
The only new
survival. Survival is the new one.
Yeah, as far as the way they switched around, from Fallout 3 to Fallout New Vegas, they added survival in Fallout New Vegas, and then they took in Fallout 3 there were small guns, big guns, and energy guns. They took small guns and big guns and put them together, but then took the energy weapons from big guns and stuffed them into energy weapons, and then they just had energy weapons and guns. And I like that system a lot better, actually.
Yeah.
It's simpler, and it made room for survival.
And one skill I will say not needs to be removed, but would probably be best as merged with melee, is unarmed. Come on, do you ever go into unarmed?
I actually...
Yes.
Am thinking for the Fallout 3 playthrough on my channel to do an unarmed character.
Yeah, but that's to make it interesting. On your own, personal time, have you ever made an unarmed character?
Yes, I have.
Was it at all entertaining?
It was entertaining, and I wanted to do it because I wanted to try out you can triple up on the perks that increase your damage in unarmed by 15 for each perk.
Fair enough. That
adds up quite a bit, especially when you have 100 unarmed and you have Fisto, the unique power fist. You have the God Punch.
Wouldn't you rather it be mixed in with melee, though? Wouldn't that make it so much less clunky? That's just, I don't know. Just for me personally, I never really went into unarmed. I just didn't. Early game bored me to the point where I couldn't get into late game with it.
True, that might be a good point. Maybe make some more unarmed weapons, because as far as unarmed weapons in Fallout 3, there was barely anything, and even in Fallout New Vegas, they tried to make it more interesting, but it's still always pneumatic glove this, pneumatic glove that.
New weapons is actually a very good point, and I hadn't thought of that. That's probably the solution I'm looking for.
Yes.
Back to the character creation point.
Yes.
which I think we need to start getting into our massive theories now. So I think you should probably go first.
Massive theories.
Well, yeah, remember the discussion we had about the NCR and like Brotherhood side? Yeah, that's...
How about we have okay, could you start first on this, just so I know where I'm gonna go?
Okay. So the discussion we had the other day was a Fallout game to the point where modern hardware had got to the point where we can handle, let's say, the equivalent of 10 wastelands, the size of which we have now. So we have 10 times the size we had now. But 5 sides of it were controlled by the NCR. And 5 of the wastelands were controlled by the NCR, and 5 were controlled by the Brotherhood, and they were either side. And this is basically the US, right? This is the US. It's the entire US war between the Brotherhood, the expanded Brotherhood, and war with the NCR. God, that's a lot of a mouthful to get out. And the character creation thing that we had, the biggest problem I think we both had with character creation is we'd like an opportunity to go in as a neutral, but for roleplay aspects, we'd also like the opportunity to go in as automatically an NCR soldier, or automatically a Brotherhood recruit, or automatically a Caesar's Legion thing. Whatever. And with this system that we were thinking of, our theory, and it's by no means perfect, we haven't talked about it much, we'd have one side of NCR, massive, like 5 times the size we got now, where you did most of your game's quests. But then at the end of the game, the big, what Hoover Dam and Jefferson Memorial was to the previous 2 games, you go over to probably one of the other 5 wastelands and have a big battle, right? That's the basic theory. Have I missed anything? Oh yeah, you could. There would obviously be side quests where the option to go over to the other side was there, or the option to just create your own side was there. The option to just say, "I'm out of this, not my battle," kind of thing.
Yes.
So the option to be affiliated with one side, one big side or the other, should be there. But the option to go in neutral or become neutral or even swap sides completely should still be there. That's really confusing theory, I know. But that was my main theory for the next Fallout game. It's just a massive war between the Brotherhood and the NCR. Or maybe not the next Fallout game. I think I meant like in a couple of Fallout games.
Yeah, that's definitely a big
hardware problem right now. For me,
they could do it, but they need to start designing it now.
To me, they need to have to optimize the next generation consoles first, and they're not going to release a game just for PC because that's not a money-making endeavor for them.
No, it's not.
Unfortunately, I'd wait 3 years until my consoles are ready for it.
But what I was gonna say was, I really going into this massive theory we did talk for a while. I can't believe I forgot about it, specifically what we were talking about. Probably because we talked for a while.
Yeah.
But what we decided that most likely the way speaking strategically, when you put these factions up against each other and how the dominoes will fall, it is most likely that it'll end up being on one side of the board the NCR and on one side of the board the Brotherhood of Steel. And now when we say the Brotherhood of Steel, we have to be specific, because the Brotherhood of Steel in the West is right next to the NCR. And the Brotherhood of Steel in the West is cut off. They hold too sternly to their old ways, and they're just big dudes with guns. And that's nice, but it's been proven, and it just makes sense that numbers will overcome that eventually, unless you retreat. But unfortunately, they don't retreat. They're too stubborn. They stay in their bunkers, and they will eventually be overrun. Now, maybe if the Brotherhood in the West went over to the East and joined them and brought their technology and their weapons and made the Eastern a more stronger outfit overall,
big question.
That'd be excellent.
What's that big question that's completely unrelated? Let's say through the events of Fallout New Vegas, the NCR and Western Brotherhood are on good terms, and all that worked out. You know, they stopped looking for the technology, they started accepting recruits. I think that can happen, and they were on good terms with the NCR. Let's say this war between the NCR on the West and the Brotherhood from the East broke out. Would the Western Brotherhood side with the NCR or the Eastern Brotherhood?
Silence.
Or would that be the players? Would that be the players' choice to go and convince them?
It's a very interesting question because, and I should mention now because it's starting to get the better of me, I am sort of in and out of a sickness right now. So if you hear me sort of congested, I just had to mention that because it's starting to come back. I took some pills earlier. Sorry. But I really do think that it's I can't put it into words, but Fallout. But I mean, if you know a lot about the lore, then you'll know that the Eastern Brotherhood and the Western Brotherhood have a lot of tension and built up between them, and the Western Brotherhood don't like the Eastern Brotherhood at this point. No. They've cut ties because the Western Brotherhood and the Eastern Brotherhood are two totally different things. And you can also take the Midwest Brotherhood, which is a whole different ball game. That girl is wild. If you know anything about the Midwest Brotherhood, they are basically rogue. But so I don't even know how they would come into play in this.
They'd be the faction the player can side with if he's like, this isn't my war.
Yeah. Perhaps. You become the leader of the Midwest Brotherhood. Which, at that time, would probably be skewed so much it would have a different name.
And you'd recruit the Securitrons with the S-Man. And you'd also recruit Caesar's Legion, who have a little camp to the north. And you'll also recruit the Canadian Caesar's Legion. And you would invade the Brotherhood.
Yes.
That is the end game storyline of Fallout 6. Copyright 2013.
Okay,
back to the real question. You were saying stuff about character development. Character development? No, that's good. Character creation, which is very basic right now. Silence.
Wait.
What?
Sorry, are you asking me something?
Sorry, say it again. You cut out a bit.
What are you asking?
I'm asking you to go into your in-depth thoughts about character creation in Fallout.
Well, to continue on to the okay, as far as character creation goes, I think they should make it so that the Fallout that they should keep the way it is now in certain aspects, but I would like them for future games you should be able to spawn as a recruit.
Yeah.
And it would really give it that sort of classic shooter feel. Not that is what Fallout is, but it would be a cool aspect to just sort of little air they could throw in there. Because you would start out as maybe like an initiate in the Brotherhood. And because I feel that in Fallout as it is, you start out as a random person and you could frickin' kill Caesar. You could help the NCR in every way possible, which I will be doing in my Let's Play if you would like to see what that looks like. But and I'm sure Putty will. I'm not sure. Actually, no, I'm not going to speak for him because I don't know what faction he's going to choose. But you could help the NCR.
Putty faction.
That's a hint to what he's picking. Okay, you could help the NCR in every way possible, and they still don't really recognize you. They're like, "Oh, you're really cool. You're helpful." But they don't. You should be a major. You should be a general. You should be the president's go-to guy.
You should be the president.
You should be the president. I'm not sure if the president would let you be the president. Maybe the president gets assassinated and they vote you.
Well, the president can get assassinated. Spoilers.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying but they can't vote you the president.
Well, why not? You have American citizenship, apparently.
It's not in the game, I'm saying.
I like how I'm just pointing out these like scenarios where it could happen, and you're like, it's not programmed into the game.
Modders, are you listening? Are you taking notes?
I need to ask this question because I've been listening to how you think, how you're putting forward. Do you think everyone should spawn in as their initiate, or do you think there should be options about where you spawn in?
Oh, I definitely think. Oh,
there's the
damn it.
Because I don't think everyone's gonna want to be the NCR soldier or the NCR soldier who goes rogue. Someone's gonna be the guy who is a nobody who goes somewhere.
Who just goes somewhere? Yeah. No, I can understand that. And you know, when we say NCR, we're obviously just saying whatever faction it is.
Yeah.
Whatever it happens to be.
The Enclave.
The NCR is a good example. Yes.
The Western Enclave.
That would be awesome. I would freak out like a little girl in stockings.
Wait.
I don't know why I said stockings.
Can I just say
that's
that
really creepy.
Even though they're a lot worse, are the Western Enclave a hell of a lot more badass than the Eastern Enclave? Just the 5 of them are so awesome. Maybe it's just it's New Vegas, isn't it? Those characters are just better than all of, except for Eden. Except for Eden, all of the Eastern Enclave are pretty boring.
Unfortunately, not as powerful though.
No. They're pretty much like 5 old people. 6? 5? Who cares? So you do want. The thing is, you're not necessarily talking about character creation, although it does have a part of it. You just want to have more of an impact on the factions. You want the faction system to go one step further.
Pretty much,
and you want to have to dedicate yourself to a faction at some point as well. If you choose to be an NCR major, you can't go off there doing quests for Caesar's Legion all of a sudden.
Yeah, definitely. No, I think you should. I think you as a player, I have a certain dignity that once I like the NCR, I'm not going to go stab them in the back and walk over to Caesar Legion and get a few denarius so I can do some crap, okay? That is gay. I don't like doing that.
Well, I'm going to have to do my all-extensive informative Let's Play.
Yeah, but I think we're... I think for that, I'm not going to talk about... That's your ballpark, but
that's multiple playthroughs.
Yes, multiple... That's what I was going to say. If you're doing that, it's going to be multiple playthroughs, so it's not stabbing them in the back.
What's going to happen is I'm going to have a main playthrough probably, and then a secondary playthrough running in the background with lots and lots of saves. And that secondary...
And then a primary playthrough.
The primary playthrough is where I play through the game live, and then afterwards, any scenes I need to add in to do the informative stuff, I will get by save abusing my secondary playthrough to shit.
Yes.
But that's not important. Would you like to move on to the next... do we have a next point?
Yes, we do.
Good.
Real quick, I just remembered what I was going to say before about the PC.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
No problem.
I have consoles, but I really like saving a lot on the PC.
Autosave.
I just like saving. I always have. I think it started... Well, one, I think my father has some influence in it, but I think it really started when I played Half-Life. That was probably the first game I really got into, and I was a little kid, so it scared the death out of me, but I still played it. I think I saved so much in that game. I saved so much. And I think that really affected me as a gamer later on, to the point now, in Fallout, I save constantly. You can't always trust those autosaves, kids. You just can't, especially when you have mods. You gotta save every 5 seconds. And I'm contradicting myself. I'll probably forget to save all the time in my playthrough.
Yeah, when you started talking about that, did I shout autosave?
Yes,
I meant
you did.
to shout quick save. Yeah, the quick save button. Yeah, I meant to shout that, which is actually amazing.
Yeah, quick saving is fun.
Okay.
But unfortunately, on the Xbox, you don't have quick saving.
No.
And I've entered my fair share of hours on the Xbox and the PC.
No,
on Fallout New
you
Vegas.
see, now I pickpocket a lot on the Xbox. Just those of you who know Fallout, imagine that. Just for a second. I pickpocket a lot on the Xbox without quick saving. You imagine that now? You guys?
Yeah.
I'm not talking to you. To the people listening to this. The four of you. Alright, now that you've imagined it, I want you to go do it. And then dislike this video. Cause that's all you feel like doing.
Okay. Anyway, my point is I overloaded. I got to 100 saves so almost very quickly, and now I just keep having to save over past saves. So if that limit wasn't there, truthfully, on my Xbox, I think I'd be at 500, maybe 600 saves right now.
Don't lie, you'd be at 1,000. You'd be at the 1,000 limit on the PC.
Possibly.
I, most of the time, will keep to like 5 saves. The save I'm playing will have 2 saves. One for when I'm done, and one for when I'm playing, just in case one screws up. And, yeah, I don't know. I don't keep, like...
Fallout 3 didn't... I think Fallout 3 has the 1,000 limit, though, even on the console.
I'm not sure. I actually think, for some reason, I guess it's the Blu-ray, no clue, I actually remember, I thought the Xbox had 100 and the PS3 had 1,000.
I don't know. I never played it.
As somebody who switched from... Literally, I did a Let's Play on both consoles.
Yes.
Quite literally.
The infamous switch of console, of general direction,
of gender,
karma, of gender,
of species.
What?
I switched from a human to a ghoul.
Would you?
A ghoul with power armor.
Ghoul with power armor.
Franziska van Houston.
Franziska!
I like how she was the good one. There she was.
She was good? I thought she was neutral.
Oh yeah, she was neutral, but she was the better of the two.
Yeah.
Richter was just evil. He was. But then again, Franziska did massacre medicine. Franziska massacred Megaton before she went off to the final battle.
Definitely.
That was like my tester to get back into the swing of things. I took my Chinese assault rifle with like 2,000 rounds of ammo, and for 10 minutes I just ran around and killed everyone I could in Megaton. I didn't explode you, but you all died in the end. I'm evil.
So anyway, I think we got a little off the beaten path.
What's our next point?
Yes, next point. That's all this is getting off the beaten path. Trailblazers. Okay. They would like... Okay, I like this point. Karma system. They would like to think about the karma system. And when they say they would like them to think about the karma system for the next game, they mean that in Fallout 3, you have a karma system that is not very alterable. So, sorry, opposite of that. I don't know why I said that. It is very alterable.
Yeah.
If you do something like blow up Megaton, they think you don't get enough shit for that. And a lot of people would say you get too much shit for that. Well, not necessarily, but a lot of people would agree that you get a lot of shit for that. They think you don't get enough. They think you should be the most evil bastard swear words on the planet, okay? I totally forget. Are we allowed to swear on these podcasts?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, thank God. Fucking cock. Okay, good.
The thing is, though, don't swear too badly because we usually record. I know this is just tricks of the trade here. We usually record for about 5 hours, but Dino, I have to cut out a lot of his racial stuff, a lot of his his sexist terms, You know, sometimes he says swear words that I don't even know about, that apparently some Polish people say are the worst swear words on the planet. And so I went through and I cut all those out.
Yeah.
Sometimes he says stories of his days back when he was in the clan, and I think I had to cut them out.
Definitely had to cut them out. The clan. Is there a clan over in the UK?
There. Okay. Now I don't know about the UK, but I do know this is a story that anybody living in my local area, which is nobody, will know that there was a member of the clan living up in Cairo recently that we had a field day with. I'm not sure if he still lives up there.
Yeah. Here it's a wild ball. I probably have several neighbors who are in the clan. I don't know. It's a racist America we live in.
So it still exists.
Oh, the clan? Definitely. No one really talks about it just because they don't do anything anymore. I'm sure it's just a bunch of old guys talking about how much they hate colored people.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I hate the fact that I just said colored people.
Yeah.
It's just something they would say. Let's just admit it. They hate black people. Very badly.
Don't they hate a lot? Don't they hate other religions as well and other races?
I'm not really sure. I'm not in the clan. I'm just assuming it's mainly directed towards black people.
I've learned a lot from Dino. You know, his stories have scarred me. It doesn't still exist over here. I know that there are a lot of retired members. I don't think they really do anything. Like they don't even meet. I don't think.
I mean, if anything, they're probably just a bunch of old men who drink, maybe play poker, and are racist together. They don't lynch anyone
just
anymore.
A typical poker group.
With the occasional extremely racist slur.
That's just
I don't mean racist slur. Hardcore clan racist slurs that will make you pass out because of how much you're like, what did he just say?
Oh, the electric's out. Looks like the N-words are at it again.
They go beyond the N-word. They go beyond. Above and beyond.
Alright, what was the... One sec, I need to get back to this point now. Damn it. Give me a quick summary of the point.
How the hell did we get to the clan?
Dino.
Okay, anyway. The karma system.
Oh, yes, no, I have perfect things for this. The karma system shows lazy game design because if actions had been weighted completely, they could do something under the hood where, yes, every single character in the game would react in a certain way to you if they knew that you had done what you had done. And through certain actions you can redeem yourself, but there are still certain characters in the game that have an intolerance towards you because of that. Like, that would happen in real life. Some people, if you, I don't know, blowing up a town is a completely extreme example, obviously, because that wouldn't happen in real life anyway. Actually, in a post-apocalyptic situation, let's say you blew up a town, okay? Sure, there are some people who are very humanitarianist, I don't know, who would never forgive you for that. But the Wasteland Raiders and just the people trying to survive, who you're not bothering, as long as you've done enough for them, you would get redeemed for that. The problem with the karma system is it affects everybody, right? Bad people like bad karma, good people like good karma, neutral people don't care. That's lazy game design. What should happen is each character, not even each character, there should be 5 or 6 personalities, and each of those personalities react differently to every single action you take. That's my opinion.
And well, talk about lazy game design.
It's not lazy.
Karma system.
It's like it's reasonable at that time.
Well, speaking of lazy game design, Fallout 3 has some lazy game design in that sense, but for Fallout New Vegas, holy crap. As far as, I mean, it's a great game. As far as Karma's concerned, Karma almost does nothing.
No.
I, right now, off the top of my head, cannot think of one scenario where you use Karma in the game.
Yeah.
You use faction reputation,
which is a lot more in-depth and specific than Karma, but still isn't perfect. Go on.
It's more specific than Karma, but Karma doesn't have any...
No, Karma's useless in that game. Completely, yeah, I agree.
Karma's still in the game, though.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't get.
Yeah.
Is it there just for nostalgia?
Probably.
Is it there because or maybe Bethesda said, if you don't have this in the game, we will cut you?
No, but Obsidian probably just said, you know, let's keep it in the game. It's nice that, I mean, it doesn't hurt the game to be there, but you're always very good at the end. You'd have to go out of your way.
But you could be very evil, and a faction like the Apostles of the what? What did I just say?
You said the Apostles.
The followers of the Apocalypse.
Aren't they the good people, though? Aren't they the
Yes,
okay.
But you could be very evil. As long as you did everything for them, they would love you.
Yeah.
Even though in a realistic situation, even if they wouldn't even let you in the front door if you were that evil.
But the thing is with them, though, that's the thing. But in Fallout, that's what it comes back to the lazy game design. You can get very evil, but just by stealing things. And the followers don't care about that. They'd let you in to heal their people. But obviously, if you slaughtered a bunch of people, yes, they'd have a problem with that.
But that's against... Exactly. So I think they should fuse the two systems and then increase on them. So
I think action
have
should have certain weights. That's my thing.
What?
I think every action should affect different people in different ways. There shouldn't be like numbers controlling that. Like how karma is like plus 200 or minus 10. I just think... You did this, so these people will always react in this way.
Yes.
That's how I feel.
I think they should merge the two systems, like you're saying, but basically meaning that, in a more simpler sense, you still have the faction reputation system, so that if you do something good for a faction, they like you, and if you do something against the faction's interest, they don't. But at the same time, if the faction's evil and you do evil things, they might start to like you because of that. And if the faction's good and you do evil things, they might start to hate you because of that, or vice versa. A sort of background noise, if you will, on the faction system.
I agree with that system, but I don't think the karma system in its Fallout 3 state would work in that regard. Because like I said, you can get evil for stealing things, and you can get good for giving water to the poor. Or giving money to the bloody nuclear worshippers.
Church, yeah, oh my god.
That gives you good karma. Like, okay, let's say, the NCR would not give a shit that you gave good money to the nuclear worshippers, and the Legion would not give a shit that you stole from the powder gangers.
Pretty sure the Legion would pay you a stipend for that.
Well, if you gave the stuff to them, but you in your system, just from stealing from them and keeping it for yourself, the Legion would be like, yes, you're evil, come here. I just think there's a problem there. Also, one last thing, the problem with Fallout, both games, how does everybody in the world know you've done something evil? There's gotta be more realistic paths for that. Like, somebody in the Republic of Dave does not know you blew up Megaton. Seriously. Probably.
Well, I think in Fallout 3, their excuse are the merchants and the caravans.
Yeah.
The magical caravans that slip through thousands of super mutants in the middle of the hellhole that is DC and navigate the winding tunnels in under a day 4 times.
Crazy Wolfgang. Defense
He's crazy, alright.
Crazy Wolfgang. Damage threshold 10,000.
I would need a Sabercat mount Skyrim mod to get through there as a merchant. There's no way that you could without it.
Super Brahmin.
Bessie the Brahmin.
Yeah. That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
That's another mod. Okay, anyway.
Yeah, go on.
Oh, I mean, is there anything else you'd like to add to the karma system?
You know what? There's a lot of work that needs to be done there. I think we can both agree on that.
Yeah, there's a lot of work, and I think it won't be completely complete by the next game, but they'll build on it as they do all things.
I definitely think people's reactions to things should be more specific, and they should look at, rather than an overall number system, I really do think they should look at what actions affect what people, rather than plus 50 affects this group of people. That's what I honestly think about moving forward with a morality system.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Is there any more points? Because this is actually getting quite long, so we're not actually going to get to our wish list. So if there's one more point, it'd be nice to wrap it up.
Oh yeah, there's maybe how about this? I'm gonna skip to my favorite, and we'll make it really quick.
No, I wanted to wrap it up, so that's like a 10-minute topic. If you want to do 2, we need to fill about 10 minutes.
And then we'll go on to the wish list?
Well, no, I don't think we're going to get to that.
Aww.
I'll bring you back on.
Okay.
Alright, I tell you what, you do a really quick topic and then you can do your wish list and we can discuss it.
Okay.
Just don't make it last half hour. I want this show to be 2 hours.
Okay. Well, how much are we?
We're on 1 minute 40.
Did you say 1 minute 40?
Yeah, 1 hour 40.
Oh, okay.
We just started recording.
Okay, here's a point that they make. They would like it for everything to have a use for everything.
Okay, before you get on, I'm gonna rescind my point that I just made. It can go on for a bit longer. Don't worry about it. Okay, use for everything. Tin cans on the floor, little beads and stuff like that. Go on.
Exactly. Like, there are so many things in the game that are there to add depth to the game, and I understand why they're there and why Bethesda maybe in the first place thought, oh, we don't need to have it there for a reason.
Yeah.
It's just random junk to add to the wasteland that you can pick up if you want. You know, milk bottles and tin cans and potty walks and Billy Bams and all these Dr. Seuss things that are scattered across the wasteland for you to pick up and find. And they're useless in Fallout 3. They're still pretty useless in Fallout. What?
Some of them are still useless. Some of them now have uses.
Some of them,
but not all of them.
But yeah, I mean, a milk bottle still doesn't do anything in New Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
A green plate still doesn't do anything in New Vegas. The most obscure thing ever, I think, is a green plate. I'm not gonna lie.
Bent tin can, dented tin can, something like that. That still doesn't do anything. You can get normal tin cans to do stuff, but the bent ones just don't do anything.
Yeah, I think normal tin cans make powder charges.
Yeah, and they can also make other things too.
Nuka grenades.
Yeah.
And potty wonks. Anyway.
You can make ammo as well with a lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
I think you can use tin cans to make, like... Oh, what's that thing called? What's that thing you use for everything? Lead, thank you.
You should be able to make bent tin cans into lead.
Yeah, obviously.
It doesn't matter if it's bent.
Yeah. You should be able to build guns with melted down tin cans.
Yeah. So yeah, what's your opinion on a more grander scale of do you think that they should keep things that are useless to add to the story, or do you think everything should have a use just for the heck of it?
I think they should still add things that are there to add to the story, but I still think they should have a use. But no, they shouldn't. It's not that they should have a use. It'd be awesome and would add so much to the depth of the game if they did have a use. What encourages me is, like you said earlier, from Fallout 3 to New Vegas, a lot of those things did get a use. So hopefully from New Vegas to 4, a lot more stuff gets a use. Like,
yes.
The biggest thing that I remember is weapon repair kits. There's like 5 different components in there that were useless in Fallout 3.
Yeah. Well, okay. As far as weapon repair kits go, I really want them to have, without the jury rigger perk, certain heavy armors will screw you over. So I think they should have armor repair kits.
Oh, yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah. But
definitely.
Yeah, obviously. Oh, maybe you should make it out of like lower grade armors or something as well.
Yeah, like straps of leather from Skyrim and
power armor sphere.
Yes.
But yeah, what was I gonna say? Oh, and the other thing is ammo. A lot of stuff that didn't have a use in Fallout 3 now has a use for ammo in New Vegas.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 things that increased usage of useless things. So
on the other end, I think useless things aren't that bad.
No.
Because if there's it's one thing when useless things don't have a use.
You can
that might be
decorate your
annoying.
apartment with them.
Yes. It's one thing when they don't have a use, but it's more annoying when there's a useless thing that you can't pick up. It's one thing when you can pick it up and mess with it and you can't do anything with it. But when there's a broom or a torch... Okay, someone explain to me the idea behind torches. They even label them, but you can't touch them in New Vegas. What is that?
Should be able to pick up televisions. Fallout The Sims Edition.
You know, that reminds me of one of the coolest mods I've seen on New Vegas. was one where it adds lizards that walk around the game and they're friendly to you. They're tiny little lizards, and you can only see them if you look at your what's it called, radar.
Radar's probably the best way to go with that.
Yeah, whatever. Sonar, but. And basically, when you walk over to them, they move really slowly, and they're little cute things, and you can pick them up, and they add to your inventory, and then you can place them anywhere you want. So you could, like, have in your house, like, 100 lizards just walking around everywhere. I think that'd be really cool as something to add to New Vegas.
Pets?
Yeah, pets.
Okay, fair enough.
Everyone's like, really? This fact? No.
You just see 3 red... were they red or were they blue? Or whatever your HUD color is. Were they friendly or hostile on the...
Oh, they were green.
They were green, okay. Depends on your HUD color, man. They could be yellow.
No, I don't think...
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. I've always liked green.
I always use blue, I think. Anyway.
Obscure.
Yes. When 3 appear on your radar, you just go, my courier sensors are tingling. I have to put that in. Courier sense is what I'm going to be calling that now.
Okay, so do you want to go to the wish list?
Yeah, go on. What's your wish list? I want 3 of your biggest wants for Fallout 4.
Okay. Numero uno. Listen up, kiddies. I really, really would like them to, as they have to, they need to bring in the Enclave and the Brotherhood into this whole Commonwealth scenario, as well as Rivet City. Now, the reason I think they should do the Brotherhood and the Enclave is because they are the Brotherhood and the Enclave. They have been in every Fallout game, and they will be in every Fallout game. You're not going to break this streak. You kind of cheated in New Vegas, but I'll accept that.
They were badasses in New Vegas.
You're obsessed with them.
I love them.
I love them.
They are,
anyway.
To be fair to me, like, as a group, because there's so little of them, you cannot say that there is a group that doesn't have, that is 100% fleshed out like they are. Every single member of that group is 100% fleshed out. The NCR has over like 100 people that you won't care about. So does the Legion, so does the Securitrons, so does the bloody Brotherhood have nameless people.
Whoa. The Securitrons have 100 people.
Okay, 100 Securitrons. Have you seen the ending for Yes Man?
They don't have... They don't have any...
They might have a little under 100, but it's close.
I mean, if you're going with nameless NPCs, the NCR has like a bajillion.
Exactly, I mentioned them. I'm talking about the Enclave.
Oh, okay.
The Enclave have 0 in New Vegas nameless NPCs. They have 100% fleshed out characters.
Very, very good point.
That's why I'm obsessed with them.
But they play a very small part as one quest in the ending.
Yeah.
So they're a good little group of guys, but they should have. I personally would like Enclave to play bigger roles.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I'm saying is Enclave, Brotherhood because they're badass, and then Rivet City because if you think about it, Rivet City is on its way to power. They have been put in a large place of power. They have the help from the Brotherhood. They have fresh and clean water for all their citizens. The Brotherhood is cleaning up the super mutant threat and all that, and they're making everything safe and nice, which means people will be able to reach Rivet City. Rivet City will be able to get more in-depth trade routes, and they'll have better research. They won't be focusing on water anymore. They might be able to design something else. And I think because of the power that Rivet City now has, I think they'll be expanding outwards, perhaps northward into Boston. So I'd like the Rivet City and Brotherhood and Enclave to play a part, as well as the obvious Commonwealth, which is going to play a part regardless. That's very obvious.
There's going to be a Fallout game where the entirety of the game takes place on Rivet City, nothing else. And you play through the entire game. Rivet City is being taken over by a dictator. You play through the entire game, and then you realize at the end that your character that you're playing was the dictator all along.
Well, ignoring the fact that that was incredibly cheesy.
And that was a reference to a game that's just come out.
What game?
I don't want to tell you because it's extremely spoiler-tastic.
Okay. Oh, no! Dang it, Putty! Oh! Oh, I'm so angry. Okay. We're gonna talk about this in private. Okay.
He knows I'm talking about Far Cry 3 now.
Oh, you're talking about... Oh, thank God.
I'm not.
Dang! Putty! Ah! I hate you. Just started playing it. Okay, well, we're not going to tell them what game you're talking about, so we don't ruin it for anyone who's watching
Bring
this.
us the... Oh, wait. No, I should stop now.
All you guys need to know is Putty's an asshole, okay? What were we talking about before you ruined the rest of my 2 weeks?
Rivet City becoming the world's next superpower?
Excellent. Yeah, whatever. Rivet City is cool, and they're awesome.
It's gonna become a battleship in Fallout 7. No, wait. In Fallout 7, it's a spaceship. Yes.
Oh, God.
The Starship Rivet City.
Huge Mothership Zeta all over again. Okay. I think that they could actually, in a more serious note, they could actually do that as far as Rivet City.
Yeah. I could see that thing literally turning into a battleship, then a spaceship. Eventually.
Well, I'm just saying in the fact of making a whole game about it, or maybe even a whole DLC, it's a big shit.
DLC,
and they
yeah,
only
I could see that.
included a few rooms.
Wait, I could see a DLC in not the next Fallout, but this Fallout after. You say it's going to become this big power, and in the next game I think they should build that up, and then in the game after that, one DLC is the ruins of Rivet City. And through the audio logs you find out how it fell, and how the power was completely lost, and how they destroyed themselves from the inside. I think that'd be an awesome
one of them's
DLC.
Pinkerton just saying, "I told you so. I told you, blasphemous even so. I'm smarter than you, you bitch. You bitch Lee." Oh.
I think that's an awesome idea for a DLC.
Okay, wish list number 2. I really need to think of what my... Oh, yeah. So, sorry. my number 2 is, I want them... And this is kind of obvious, but if I just want to put it... Didn't have this, I'd be very disappointed, and that would be so sad. They need to run Fallout 4 on the Skyrim engine.
Of course.
We talked about this earlier, but it's a very good point to have on my wish list. If they run it on the Skyrim engine, it will look so good. The graphics will be better. The gameplay in many aspects will seem less clunky, and it'll add interesting new concepts like more in-depth executions or kill cams, as you call them. I can't think of the actual name.
Actually, I think in Fallout New Vegas, the option is called Enable Kill Cams. So
there are kill cams
in New Vegas, yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
well, we'll just call them kill cams.
Yeah.
Right now.
Well, I just thought of something. We've been talking about the Skyrim engine, how exciting that is. Why are we limited to the Skyrim engine? Why don't we just not ask them, but why don't we have a wish that they just move on and get something like the newest Unreal Engine? Or something like that, a bigger and better engine. They've been stuck to these clunky RPG engines when, on a base level, it's a first-person shooter. They can do so much with that and add the RPG elements to it.
True.
Skyrim engine's fine.
That might
Skyrim
alter
engine's fine,
that.
But
you're getting into this gray area of not Fallout, though.
No, because it doesn't. At the base level, the engine can be modified to whatever extremes. I can make a text-based adventure out of an Unreal Engine, but well, I can't. Somebody can. Somebody can. So at the base level, all we're looking at is how it feels. So shouldn't they be looking at one of the more modern engines for that, and then adding RPG elements onto it?
Yeah.
Okay. I've just blown everyone's minds.
I mean, I think that would be a good idea. Me personally, I think the Skyrim engine, if they have it, That's fine.
Yeah,
That's far enough. If they want to make a new one, then good for them.
No, exactly.
But I just don't think they have that much time.
I will be more than happy to wait until 2016-17 for Fallout 4.
Good God, man, you have patience.
Miyamoto, a bad game is bad forever. A delayed game is only bad until it comes out. A bad game that's released is bad forever.
And Fallout 4 is going to be good no matter what.
But we shouldn't think like that, because we need to criticize Bethesda if they screw this up.
True. Also, we should try to make it seem worse in our minds so that we do play it. Our expectations would be lowered. You know how many movies have been ruined for me when I walk in thinking it's going to be a great thing?
Games too.
Yeah, games too, yeah. And one time with a book even.
I'm just not, like, I don't care about, I honestly, my mind right now, I just don't care about Fallout 4 that much. I'm not thinking about it on a daily basis. That first trailer comes out, my hype's gonna be at the roof. Like, I can't stop it. That first teaser comes out, my hype's gonna be at the roof.
Dude, if Bethesda puts out a video that just says F4, I'm going to pee myself. And that's it. It'll be a 1-second video. It'll just say F4.
If there's a little frame in the Elder Scrolls Online trailer, like there was for that new Project Red game, that says F4, bam, hypes up. Because we know it's coming at that point.
I mean,
here's I know, sorry about your wish list, we can go on for a little bit longer. Here's a good topic. Bethesda licensed 3 Fallout games and said at the beginning of the development of Fallout New Vegas that they planned, you know, we bought 3 Fallout games and that's what we're going to make. That statement wasn't saying we're not going to make any more. That statement was saying we're not going to make just one. Do you think now, though, looking back at that statement, is this Bethesda's last Fallout game?
I could have gone longer. I didn't get enough breath. Sorry. I really think that is bullshit. And if they do that, then I will be happy to staple Steve. I think his name's Pete Hines. Yeah, Pete Hines in the forehead. Right between the eyes, because Fallout is such a good game, and it's like what my whole gaming experience is now. Without Fallout, I wouldn't be talking right now. I just wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Not just to you guys online, not just to Putty. I just wouldn't be talking. I'd be in shock. I'd be in a coma in the back room because there's nothing bright or beautiful in the world. Okay, it's such a good game series.
I'm not talking about Fallout ending, and I know what your point is, but I'm not talking about Fallout ending. I'm just talking about it moving on to a different developer.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't mean Bethesda were going to be like that. We're done with. We're just going to put Fallout in the ground. I'm talking about Bethesda licensing the game back out.
I doubt that's going to happen either. Bethesda's kind of.
Who owns? I'm wondering, because Bethesda licensed 3 Fallout games. What actually happens legally after that? Who owns the rights to Fallout?
Oh, no. They didn't just leave. No. Later onward, you didn't hear about that? Okay, there was a huge amount of things with Interplay. They completely raped Interplay in the courtroom.
No, I heard about that. Fallout Online.
Not just with Fallout Online. They have all... Before Fallout Online, they now have all the rights to Fallout. Whether it's merchandise, they could literally legally produce 100 Fallout games right now. So
my point is
the 3-game thing is no longer applying.
Okay.
So them passing on to another producer, plus Bethesda's so touchy with their game series. Have you noticed that?
Really? They've published some crap lately. Okay, they've published one piece of crap lately.
What?
Brink.
What game? Brink is not that bad.
No, but it's not Bethesda. And they weren't touchy about that.
That's it. I'm putting in upcoming playthroughs on my channel, Brink, and then in quotes, this is because of BioShock, Putty. Okay. Okay, so yeah, no, I don't really need to continue with my wish list because I think we talked about everything. So I think really, if there's anything you'd like to finish in this thing, we should better do it now. And then,
well, I think we don't need to talk about your channel because I think everyone's established over the last 2 hours that you do playthroughs. and you're going to be doing playthroughs. And
oh yeah, one quick note. I'm not going to describe what I'm going to do. I'm going to do playthroughs, and it's going to be a lot of Bethesda content. That's a quick note. But if this is coming out on Sunday, I believe. Am I correct?
You're correct.
Okay. If you watch this and you're just like, holy bejesus, I got to go to his channel and watch all his videos. Well,
first you should go to mine. Then go to his.
You should go to his. No, unfortunately, right, the channel's up. My equipment is all together. I got all my ducks in a row, but life happens, and because of family problems, I have some family members who are in need right now. So we're going for the next 2 days to Chicago or that area, and so I won't be back until Sunday. Well, no, maybe Saturday. The point is, me getting content out before you see this video is unlikely. So if you watch this video and go to my channel, don't be freaked out because there's nothing there. I will be getting something on, at least, if not at the end of Sunday, then right on Monday when I get home from school. So that's just a quick note. But I highly doubt that there will be many people who watch this video. Well, one that got this far in. How many people you think actually are going to get this far in?
Well, I know one, and I'll be mentioning that in a second.
Okay. Well, I will let you talk then. That's basically my whole note. That's just, I wanted to say that.
Alright. Well, for those of you who actually watched all the way through, maybe even for those of you who watched last week, we do a competition, like I said earlier in this show, where we give a word, and whoever gets all the way through the podcast, that word goes in the comments. And I know it's not a big thing since they're not actually like video producers, but we do shout out the channel. We are going to limit it to just one time, so if you post it like in a multiple episodes, we'll still put you in the description, but we won't mention you on the show. But this time it's a little different because what we did last week is we mentioned the wrong channel. We mentioned the guy's viewing channel when he does actually have a video production channel. The guy is Ellis Smith, and his real channel link, the link to his actual video production channel, is in the description. He got the word right last week and the week after. Alright, so the word for this week, we said it earlier, we're going to do another word, and that word is... Why don't I leave it to Marshall? What word do you want to give to the viewers?
Moira.
Moira, that's a good one. Moira. Alright, Moira.
That is M-O-I-R-A, Moira.
I don't quite know what's going up on my channel this week, but I do know that we do have a schedule for the roundtable, and my videos are a Port Talbot Town Roundtable Revolution, which is Tuesdays and Thursdays, and me and Tanner, the Cold War Civ 5, which is Wednesdays.
Which is very entertaining.
Saturdays.
If you haven't seen that, you should check it out.
Thank you.
I really do think that's funny. You guys go back and forth quite a bit in that. And
the end, yeah. We get really aggressive towards the end.
Dude, you are such a douchebag leader. Holy
I
God.
nuke everyone.
How many people do you have to nuke?
The thing is,
before...
I had the best happiness at the end. Yeah,
Really?
I had the highest happiness levels.
That's ridiculous.
Anyway, we will have Marshall on the podcast again because he did not do the guest game show, and this wasn't a real structured podcast. But hopefully you've enjoyed 2 hours of Fallout 4, which we talk more about the problems with Fallout and the good things about Fallout rather than actually what we're going to see with Fallout 4. But we did touch on it quite a bit. Maybe we'll talk about this again. We didn't get to it all, so.
Yeah, I mean, we might take a little of opinion from... I mean, I'm sure that the other roundtablers might have a little bit to say about it.
And I mean, this is early days. I mean, in 6 months' time, we might actually have some news to analyze.
Definitely, yeah. I agree.
So, maybe we'll come back when we have more information, or when we have a different opinion. But aside from that, next week is a proper podcast. I don't know who we've got on. We'll work it out. I will see you guys next week, and Marshall will see you guys... sometime. Hopefully soon. Go subscribe.
I don't know.
Who cares?
Who does care? Okay.
I'll see you guys next week for the podcast.